Let's start with a little Cotton Bowl preview, though. We got Missouri and Ohio State. This is December 30th in Arlington. Mizzou right now is a 2.5-point favorite. That total is 49. And if you haven't really been keeping up with the line movement for this game, it's been very interesting because Mizzou did not start as a favorite. They started as a pretty fairly big underdog in this game. So, Nate, tell the people why the line movement has been this way and kind of how they should bet it now that it's Mizzou as a 2.5-point favorite.
It's kind of hard to pre-record these bowl previews because the lines move so often whenever there's any kind of bit of news, whether it's transfer portal or a player opting out or maybe a assistant coach going somewhere that called plays or something impactful. I feel like we've kind of hit a plateau in this line where it's moved a lot, and it probably is not going to move again until this game is played on December 30th in Arlington, Texas. So New Year's Six Bowl, Ohio State opens -6.5 pretty much everywhere. And last Monday morning, I'm thinking, I like Mizzou in this game just because they're excited to be in this game. And Ohio State, after making the playoff last year, probably not that excited. So it's like 7 a.m. Monday morning, phone lights up, get a lot of texts saying Kyle McCord is in the transfer portal. I wake up, first thing I do, bet Mizzou +6.5. Then the line moves a little bit. Then a little bit later that Monday, Julian Fleming, who's wide receiver number 3, a former top recruit for Ohio State, he put his name in the portal, and that's a big deal because it's assumed Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to opt out of this game. And then like 12 other players on Ohio State went to the portal. And on the other side, everything from the Mizzou camp was, we're not having any opt-outs. We're not having that many transfers.
Man ball.
If you're not injured,
it is man ball.
Like if you're not injured, everyone's playing in this game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of enthusiasm in terms of like ticket sales with Missouri fans wanting to go to Dallas for this game, and probably not as many for Ohio State, who usually are going to the Rose Bowl or a semifinal game. So going to the Cotton Bowl is not as exciting for them. So because of that and all this movement, positive for Mizzou, and so much of bowl betting is kind of looking at the motivation, who wants to be there, who's excited about this game, and who maybe is a little disappointed because they had bigger expectations, like Ohio State. So this is kind of the classic case where you have the motivation angles on the opposite sides, but also now you have to follow the transfer portal, you have to follow opt-outs, guys going to the draft and are foregoing the bowl game.
Yeah.
And because of all that, we have Mizzou as a favorite, and it's kind of trending to -3. So if this game was like full on, like, you know, both teams, like a regular season game, Ohio, on a neutral field, Ohio State, I'd probably be like a 10-point favorite in this game. But with all the factors, and it's hard to quantify how like much motivation matters, but I think it's pretty severe here. And I guess my question for you guys, has the line moved too much? Are you interested in maybe Ohio State eventually because they still have backups who are very talented? Or is it just Mizzou all the way at really whatever price?
I'm going Mizzou because Ryan Day is going to be sleeping in his own bed even for this game. Is he even showing up? No, he's not showing up.
Like, he's looking for NFL
just you
teams.
Saying that nobody's leaving and everyone is playing is good enough for me to bet this without looking at anything else other than that nobody's playing for Ohio State. What are they playing for? They don't want to be there. They're just playoffs. Cody Schrager, GOAT, Mizzou.
That was a good impression. And obviously, when I think this type of game, betting this game starts all the way back when they beat Kansas State on a field goal, and everyone just got super hyped about Mizzou. And I think that kind of effort and energy and enthusiasm around the program has moved throughout the whole season. And when you have that throughout the entire season, you still get up for the bowl game. You care about the bowl game a little bit more because it's going to be the capper to a really fun season for the fans and the players. And they really weren't. No, they weren't supposed to be in the position. They weren't supposed to be a top 10 this year. So they're going to have the motivation factor by a million. And in a situation like that, I'm still happy to take them under a field goal favorite. I mean, they could win by 6 or 10 points or whatnot. They could win by double digits against an Ohio State team that I think, you see the players are kind of done with it. Ryan Day might be done with it. The fans are done with it. I'll bet against that 10 times out of 10.
Definitely, and just kind of something to keep in mind in general when betting bowl games. And the last week we gave out some bowl bets, including some New Year's Six bowls where I was on Florida State, Colby was on Liberty, and those are kind of teams where we think there might be a little bit of a motivation edge for those two teams fading Oregon.
School, like
who,
not saying Mizzou's a small school, but the school that's usually not there.
Right, yeah. Last year Mizzou was playing in the Gasparilla Bowl, so the Cotton Bowl a little bit nicer, brighter lights, especially in Dallas.
Don't disparage the Gasparilla Bowl.
There's a good amount of Mizzou alum in that area, so they should have the crowd advantage at Jerry World. That's Friday night and a few weeks from now.